Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yo guys, welcome to MMA Nights. The latest talk of the MMA town is that Tom Aspinall just called Jon Jones a con artist, claiming the pound-for-pound GOAT is using mind games and media tactics to dodge their fight.
I mean, the thing with John is conning the public, man.
Whoa.
If there's one thing Tom Aspinall isn't afraid to do, it's call things exactly as he sees them. And right now, what he sees is Jon Jones avoiding a fight with him like a boxer slipping a jab. Aspinall didn't mince words during his recent appearance on Impulsive, where he openly accused Jones of being scared to face him in the octagon. He didn't deny Jones' greatness, but he made it clear that he believes the longtime champion has been strategically avoiding dangerous fights at this stage of his career. He pointed to Jones' reluctance to fight Francis Ngannou for years and now, conveniently, delaying a showdown with him.
I mean, he's definitely top three. He's definitely top three.
Absolutely. I'm not disputing that he's an amazing fighter. I think the fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year. And he just, the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him. But do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely.
Jones has long been known for his mastery of mind games and media manipulation, but Aspinall isn't buying it. To him, it's all just smoke and mirrors, and the longer this fight drags out, the more he sees it as proof that Jones isn't eager to test himself against younger, hungrier challengers. Of course, Jones has been in this position before. When Ngannou was the UFC heavyweight champion, the super fight between them seemed inevitable. The UFC insisted that Ngannou was asking for too much money, but in reality, he was fighting for things beyond just a paycheck. He wanted sponsorship opportunities for fighters, health insurance, and athlete advocacy. Unsurprisingly, the UFC wasn't willing to budge, and Ngannou eventually walked away. Once Ngannou was out of the picture, Jones finally made his heavyweight debut and swiftly dismantled Cyril Gane for the title. To many, it looked like perfect timing, a little too perfect. Now, Aspinall finds himself in a similar situation, wondering if history is repeating itself, especially considering that news came out about Jones wanting 6 more months to prepare for this fight.
Against Cyril?
Yeah.
You watched that fight?
Yeah.
Were you surprised at how good he still was after all these years?
No.
And moving up to heavyweight?
No, you know what? I think John, like you said, I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think.
Damn.
But he definitely, like, skill for skill, he's one of the top 3 fighters ever. I'm not debating that at all.
What drug are you talking about specifically?
Well, he's done a few. I think he's done a few.
I can't tolerate the Jon Jones slander, bro. It was a fluke.
I respect it, but if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be yes.
Well, is regardless of that and that fear, because clearly he's overcome it at times in the past. Is that fight fucking happening?
I cannot say or deny. No, right now we're actually waiting for news. We have had to do, I'm chasing it up. Like the UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I'm chasing it all the time. I want the fight really bad.
The situation has caught the attention of more than just UFC fans. Don Davis, founder of the PFL, made an audacious move by offering Jones a staggering $50 million to finally fight Ngannou under the PFL banner. That's a lot of money. More than Jones would likely make facing Aspinall in the UFC. While neither Jones nor Ngannou has responded to the offer yet, it's certainly an intriguing option. If Jones truly wants to cement his legacy, cashing in on the biggest heavyweight fight of the decade wouldn't be a bad way to do it. But in the meantime, Aspinall continues his pursuit of the fight he's owed. Jones initially dismissed him as a legitimate challenger, focusing instead on his long-anticipated matchup with Stipe Miocic at UFC 309. However, after that fight, retirement talk from Jones suddenly quieted down, and discussions about a fight with Aspinall started gaining momentum.
I see people online saying, like, you know, the thing that happened with Conor and Chandler?
Yeah.
People are like, don't be like Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not about the fighting John. It's about the UFC heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a version of the title, but I want to be the undisputed champion. That's all it is. It doesn't matter about John. I'm trying to be the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing one fight. if I can fight John and get the biggest scalp in MMA, absolutely, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a great time for me because he is slowing down a little bit, and I've not even reached my prime yet. So,
spoken like a true A side right there.
I mean, I'm not the A side. I'm not going to start pretending that I am. That guy's going to get $30 million to fight me. He's definitely the A side, but I definitely think it's a fight that I can win.
Aspinall, understandably frustrated by the delays, recently met with UFC Chief Business Officer Hunter Campbell in London. The meeting, which stretched into the early hours of the morning, left the Englishman feeling far more optimistic. While he didn't spill all the details, he made it clear that big news was on the way and that he now had a better understanding of where he stood within the company.
We had a fantastic meeting. Everything went amazing. I understand my position now. I understand what the company's doing now. And you got to stay tuned, my friend, because there's some big news coming.
Despite this newfound optimism, Aspinall hasn't been shy about expressing his impatience. When cameras cut to him at UFC London, he playfully held up a flashing rubber duck, an unmistakable jab at Jones. The crowd loved it, and the message was clear. Aspinall is tired of waiting, and he's not afraid to make some noise about it. For his part, Jones has continued to stir the pot. During an appearance at a Dirty Boxing Championship event, an organization he recently became part owner of, he found himself at the center of an unexpected moment. The crowd erupted into a chant directed at Aspinall, filled with explicit language. Normally, Jones thrives in these kinds of situations, but something about his reaction felt off. Instead of embracing the moment with his usual swagger, he appeared uncomfortable and unsure of how to respond. Aspinall caught wind of it later and didn't take offense. Instead, he found it amusing. He noted that Jones simply looked awkward, almost as if the situation had caught him off guard.
I will leave you with this. At the weigh-ins for the Dirty Boxing event this past Friday, the one in Miami, Jon Jones now, it has been announced as a part owner. There was a bit of a chant in attendance. You know we love the Tommy Aspinall chant. Here's John reacting to a chant at the weigh-ins. You're on his mind there, Tommy. You see that? You're on his mind.
He looks a bit uncomfortable there. He looks a bit awkward.
You know what? He's right. You are an asshole, Tom. You are an asshole for that response.
I'm just being. I mean, everyone's an asshole sometimes, especially me. So I don't take offense to it. But yeah, he did look a bit uncomfortable to me. He looks a bit awkward.
Oh God.
Despite all of this drama, Dana White is adamant that the fight will happen. White has repeatedly reassured fans that the bout is inevitable. While he couldn't provide an exact date, he made it clear that there are no major logistical issues preventing it from happening. It's simply a matter of finalizing the details and getting the contract signed. Despite White's confidence, the timeline remains uncertain. Jones has never been one to rush into fights, and with the looming possibility of a massive payday outside the UFC against Ngannou, it's not hard to see why he might be hesitant. But if Aspinall keeps pushing and the UFC keeps insisting, eventually, Jones might have no choice but to step into the cage.
What's going on with Tom Aspinall? Give us a little bit of something. Can the fans get excited about the super fight?
I'll tell you what I've been telling you since day one. The fight's going to happen. It's done, but it's not done. Not done enough to sit right here now and announce it and give you a date, but the fight's going to happen.
Moreover, Aspinall is on the verge of breaking a UFC record, but not one he particularly wants. Come April 29th, 2025, he will officially become the longest reigning interim champion in UFC history, surpassing Renaud Barreau's 534-day mark. Not exactly the kind of legacy a fighter dreams of. Fans are also getting impatient, with many accusing Jones of being hesitant, if not outright avoiding the fight altogether. But not everyone is on Aspinall's side in this debate. Kevin Holland has stepped in to defend Jones, arguing that Bones is simply playing the game like a seasoned veteran.
You're here to prove that you're the baddest dude. And to prove that you're the baddest dude, you got to fight dudes to do that. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, I'm the baddest dude. Well, but not that guy. I don't want to fight that guy. yeah, I need this amount of time. I need that. I need this. And it's just like, you're probably sitting back going, just shut the f up.
I do think it's wild, but I hear what Bisping on the John Jones thing. It's like, it's like, I'm going to stand up for him a little bit on this one. The dude's been around for a very long time and he's fought a lot of people.
He acknowledged that while fans may be frustrated, Jones is operating on his own timeline, much like Floyd Mayweather did in boxing. The comparison is sure to irk MMA purists. After all, Mayweather built his legacy not just on skill, but also on carefully selecting fights that made financial sense, often avoiding risky matchups at the height of his opponents' careers. The UFC, at least in theory, was supposed to be different. Dana White has long preached that in his promotion, the best fight the best. Yet, as Holland sees it, Jones is simply taking a page from the playbook of legendary boxers. He argued that if you're an established name with leverage, you should use it. He even suggested that Aspinall is making a mistake by refusing to defend his interim belt in the meantime.
I'm going to play it like a Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to play it like how these old school boxers played it. I'm going to play it as smart as I can. I'm going to be the OG in the game. Yeah, we may not like it. Yeah, it may sucks. Yeah, we may want to see the fight tomorrow. But the older I get, the smarter I will play the game. And if I'm John Jones, I will do everything in my power to make sure that Tom Aspinall understands how powerful and how dominant I have been over the years and all the things that I have done. So by the time it comes for us to fight, you'll be so up in your own head. You'll be so up about how big my head is. It'll be rough. And, hopefully Tom doesn't fall to that. I will not fight another guy for interim. I mean, why not? You're the baddest in the world. Go knock out another guy. Shouldn't be nobody in the way from you getting your paycheck, and it should be nobody in the way from you doing what you do.
Michael Bisping has also been critical of the UFC's delay in making the fight happen. In a recent interview, he expressed frustration that Jones has been inactive since November and questioned why the UFC hasn't pushed harder to finalize the matchup. He went so far as to say that in any other sport, a champion sitting out this long would be stripped of their title. Bisping also doesn't understand why John Jones needs 6 months to prepare for this fight.
Unbelievable stuff, but he's got to fight Tom Aspinall. That's just a fact. And if he wants 6 months, I don't understand that, because training camps don't take 6 months. Typically, a training camp is 2 months long, or sometimes people do a pre-camp. Now, a pre-camp usually is when a fighter's let themselves get really out of shape.
Boy, are you fat. What'd you say?
So they do like a 4-week pre-camp to shed a few pounds, to get back in the gym, to get moving again, blow the rust off and feeling good, and then they start camp. 6 months is a very long time.
Despite his irritation with the delays, Bisping did agree with Holland on one thing. Aspinall should stay active. He even admitted to personally telling Aspinall that he should continue defending his interim title, pointing out that every additional victory only strengthens his case for unification bout.
I have said that exact same thing. I said it to Tom Aspinall when he said he didn't want to fight anyone. I said, you're crazy. You'll beat all these other guys.
You're gonna beat him. Yeah.
Stack up the money. Keep making your case.
If I'm Tom, I want all the experience I can get. I want every freaking benefit that I can have going into a fight with a guy like that. I want the guy to be so scared of me instead of me having to be scared of that guy that there's nothing that he can do.
And then there's Colby Covington, who, as expected, had his own fiery take on the situation. Covington outright accused Jones of pricing himself out of the fight. He claimed that Jones is intentionally making astronomical financial demands, numbers as high as $40 to $50 million, to avoid fighting Aspinall. According to Covington, Jones simply doesn't generate that kind of revenue for the UFC. He even went a step further, predicting that Jones would retire rather than risk his legacy against a younger, hungrier opponent.
John's ducking. He's trying to ask for an unreasonable price, man. You can't be asking for $40, $50 million. You don't draw money to the company like that. So, I think that he's going to end up retiring before he fights Aspinall.
For now, Aspinall remains focused and ready. He knows that the waiting game is part of the business, but that doesn't mean he has to like it. In the meantime, he's keeping the pressure on, whether it's through interviews, social media, or flashing rubber ducks at live events. The ball is in Jones' court. Is John Jones really ducking Tom? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more MMA content like this.